Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Hello, and we are back for another Miguel and Holly Uncensored podcast. We missed you on Friday.
Yes.
Well, you can always listen to the Uncensored podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also, check out our other ones like Miguel and Holly Full Show, Miguel and Holly's Blown Off, Queen City Confessions.
And they're all up now.
Yep. Yes, we had some technical difficulties, and you probably saw, if you listened to this, that all of a sudden on Thursday or Friday, all podcasts that we did last week popped up. The videos obviously were there, but it was a little bit of I tell you what, when technology goes down, it's like just down, which I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so fascinated by TV shows that explore what would happen if we lost technology or power, because we depend on it for everything.
Yeah. It would be chaos. And I know that some shows try to make it do this or that, but I mean, it would just very, very quickly devolve into chaos.
Yeah.
I'm just happy the Platypus Posse has stopped sending me death threats in my DMs.
Oh, who was sending you death threats, girl?
Nobody. But,
but
you know how they be. Where are the episodes?
They said, where it be, Kilby?
Yeah, they said, what are you not doing your job, Kelvin?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was just a technical issue that, it just happens. But I remember the closest I've ever felt to what it would feel like to be in a sort of post-apocalyptic world was during Irma.
Yeah.
Hurricane Irma, when we were escaping from Tampa Bay.
I love how you say escaping and not evacuating.
No, because that's
dramatic.
That's what it felt. It literally felt that dramatic. I will never forget being on the roads and you would pass gas stations with lines out on the street. And then you would just see your gas tank just slowly go down. And then you have to make that decision. Do we wait at this one gas station for a couple of hours and hope, because then gas stations were running out of gas because the gas tanks, they weren't coming to fill them back up because of the storm coming. And it truly felt like we were escaping from not a hurricane, but some crazy post-apocalyptic whatever it was.
And it wasn't fun.
No.
We had to stop. The way both on the way out and coming back in were apocalyptic. And on the way out, it was the gas crisis, because we actually got the very last, the gas pump that we were at, the lights shut off after we had filled up. And then everybody waiting behind us was like, what? And I'm like, I don't know, go. And we had to and to take my daughter, who was younger, obviously at the time, to the bathroom. People were almost to the point of looting all of the snacks at the gas station. And I had her in my arms, and I was don't know. She goes, somebody gonna snatch this baby up out of my arms. I don't know. And then on the way back, there was no food. We were so hungry, and gas was also still sparse, but it was we can't risk trying to go off freeway to try to find, because then we're wasting gas. It was a mess.
Was this 2017?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah. It just really shows you how, and I just remember thinking that entire experience was, society is literally on a thin string. That all it takes is one little ripple, one little snip, and people just fucking lose their mind.
Yeah, because we're living in that space of one shoe drops and the whole thing collapses.
Yeah, because I remember there was almost a fight at one of the gas stations, because of course you had those crazy ass people that would have 5 gas canisters of gas for themselves and would be at the gas station trying to fill it up when there's clearly a long line of people that are just trying to make it to their destination. And I remember I lost it at one point because there was 4 people in my car. And there was one point where we were stopped, and I think it was 10 miles in 4 hours or something like that. And you could just feel the tension in the car just rising as we were trying to figure out, do we turn the car off? Do we do this or do we do that? And you could just feel the tension. And then I just lost it on one of my friends who just thought everything was so fucking funny.
Oh no. My dad got into an accident that day. I'll never forget it. It was a mini car accident, but they were just trying to get out of like I think a gas station or like a McDonald's. I don't know what it was. Got into a mini accident. I was working from home at this advertising agency, and I was like messaging them, and I was like, "My dad just got into an accident. I was on like my 9th hour of working," and they were like, "Oh, you should have just logged off." But like, it's okay. We appreciate it. I still kept fucking working,
Uh,
and then I remember the morning of the storm is coming, and we were trying to get a wooden panel because we wanted to patch up our sliding doors. My dad's installing it like an idiot. I guess he missed where he was supposed to put the screw in and screws it right on the glass door, and it starts to shatter.
Oh my God, that
It
is my biggest
starts
fear
to
and why I don't board my windows because I don't know how.
Yes.
Clearly, he didn't either.
And so that happened. His pickup truck cover flew in the middle of that storm. I
Oh.
still had to walk my dog in the middle of that, so that was also a thing.
Oof.
It was a lot. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was an insane
And that was just
time.
a teeny tiny glimpse.
Yeah. I mean, and I kind of felt that a little bit, yes, last night. Because if you've seen the news and like it's become like national news now, the power outage in one of the cities or counties here in North Carolina, where, we didn't say what the speculation was because they don't know yet. They're still trying to get all the facts. But like yesterday, the speculation was that some people went and like shot out the what is it, like power station, or what is it called?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The power
Yeah, like-
station.
The power station, like where Duke Energy runs a plant where a lot of stuff goes through that particular station.
The rumor, and this is unconfirmed, no one has said anything official, but the rumor is that there was some sort of militia group that was trying to target a drag show, a Christmas drag show or something like that, and that like that's why they did it, to try to get it to stop. That's the rumor that has been going on, that where everything started.
I almost feel like that's not real because keep in mind that other thing that went viral where there was a militia trying to stop a drag show in Ohio. That picture went viral. I think the two things are getting accidentally conflated because not that a militia trying to stop a drag show is not a big deal. It is, and it should be. That's horrific. Like that's a whole different topic in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw was that this has bigger implications than, we're trying to shut down a drag show.
Right.
Like I saw some news about this where it's like, okay, look what happened. 40,000 plus people are without power. And this is my unconfirmed, rumor, is to see how easy it was to do. Because if you do 10, 15 of these things around the country, we're done.
Yeah. There's
Like-
what we were talking about, the power.
That's what I think that in the bigger, grander scheme of things, like they probably could have done something else for just and if it's just for the drag show, I'm also like, y'all stupid as fuck. But like, I think they think that it was almost like how easy was it for us to bust up? Literally, they just plowed down a gate.
Yeah.
To go in there and wreak so much havoc that now an entire county is without power. So they target a bigger station, or they set groups at different stations around the country, or some of the big ones, if you're just targeting Duke Energy or whatever, that would cause not just chaos to one particular group, but like literally everybody, and it would be chaos. So let's hope it's not that, but that's what I did here.
I mean, it just feels like we are, and we've said this before, and I feel like the feeling goes away and comes back, but I just feel like we are about to slam into like just something nuts in our society. Like I feel like the pandemic, because I remember, and I'm sure if we went back in the podcast, I could find it, where I remember before the pandemic started, maybe a year before, I just felt like, when does society like slow down? Like it just felt like we were at this like fever pitch pace, and it just was like something is coming. Don't know what it is. Don't know what. Well, the pandemic said, sit your ass down, everybody. And we had to sit down. But I just feel like there's just something extra in the air that just doesn't feel right. That something is coming, but I just don't know what it is. And it's like unnerving sometimes when I really like think about it, about like what this means or what it could be. And like all the times that Holly and I you and I used to be like, well, we should have like an apocalyptic, zombie plan. Like it was cutesy and it was funny.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, really, like where are we meeting up if some shit happens?
You feel this for the world or for yourself?
For the world.
Got it. I feel that for myself right now.
Well,
But,
who
hey.
wouldn't with the way Miguel's talking?
Right.
But like, I'm sorry. You know what time and age has brought me? We're not meeting up. Ain't nobody meeting up. Who's meeting up? Like that was the cutesy part of our plan.
Right.
We're like, we're all gonna meet up at a farm in Brooksville or whatever, and someone's bringing socks. Listen, nobody's meeting up with anyone because how the fuck are you gonna get there?
You can't communicate. You don't know.
I just need to happen. Like, can I just say, like, if shit goes sideways, I need to be at home and I need to not be visiting Charlotte when that shit happens.
Oh
Because
no!
I
It's
don't.
anxiety.
I have
Stop it.
anxiety, Calvin.
Oh my God, that's gonna be the movie. Holly makes it home.
Not a Christmas.
No, like,
Does not sound like a Christmas.
No.
No, that does not sound fun and cheerful at all. But there was some movie we watched a while back when we were bored. I don't even remember the name of it, but it was something like, God, I don't remember. But this husband was with his wife's father, and they were trying to make it across the country to get to her in LA, and like just what they had to go through, like the gas situation, period. Like what happens when someone shoots out your car tires, then somebody's going to steal all your food, and who do you have guns on you? I'm just not going to make it across multiple states. How?
Yeah.
So anyway, I just need whatever it is that's going to happen needs just to happen when we're all in one place, like my family. And then I'll just send thoughts and prayers to y'all because I don't know.
We'll be like, oh, if the power gets on, maybe we'll get back up Miguel and Holly together. But
Y'all your own. You text me. Can you upload?
Bye.
I'll be like, Kelvin, you still got the login? Can you upload a podcast for us? We're able to patch together some stuff.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. So anyway, how was
So
it?
anyway, now that we've talked about how the world is ending and Miguel's got a feeling something's coming, how's everybody?
Cheney said, "Happy Monday." Happy
Yeah,
Monday, everybody.
happy Monday.
Why do we always do this? Like once a month, we go off tilt into some crazy conspiracy that like we're all gonna die.
Because the world is churning out conspiracy theories faster than we can digest them.
I literally disassociated. You won't hear it obviously on the podcast, but you'll see it in the video where I disassociated, where I was like, I'm not in the headspace for this conversation right now.
I saw
I'm
you
just
look
not.
and you were just like,
I was like,
hey.
Oh,
I'm back.
and we're back.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that.
Hey.
Yeah. I can't
How was
do it.
everyone's weekend?
Good. It's good. It's always a little bit exhausting with both girls, but it's good.
Mm.
It was fine. Maya is sick. And that reminded me, like, kind of to maybe pull together two thoughts about how, when the pandemic hit and everybody was like, oh, sit down. And Maya started running a fever last night, like late in the evening. And I was like, what do we do? I was like, the fever, who even knows when kids get fevers? Like, it's always up in the air. I was like, we got to wait and see tomorrow morning what's going on, if she still has a fever, like whatever. Whereas if this was 2 years ago, you get a fever and you're like, I am out for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Bye.
Yeah.
Don't nobody bother me. Nothing.
This is
I
it.
am going to board myself in my home. And now I'm like, she could go to school if the fever stops. And
No.
spoiler, she did not go to school this morning.
All right.
Mm.
So it just is really bizarre how that's, wrapped
Changed.
itself up real quick.
Mhm.
And then it's like you're playing this guessing game. It's like, is it the flu? Is it COVID? Is it RSV? What is
Yeah.
it? Is it some random unknown thing? I think it's probably a flu, even though she did already have a flu shot about 3 or 4 weeks ago now.
Mhm.
It would probably be worse if she hadn't have had that, but I think it's the flu because it's fever, coughing, achy. That sounds like the flu to me.
Are you wearing a mask around her? TBT?
I'm not wearing a mask. Well, it only happened last night. I didn't think about it. That's the other thing. I didn't even think about that.
Right.
Oh.
Can you take
It's
a picture
fine.
of the thermometer without your fingers in the photo, just for me to have?
See, that's what we learned today on the air is that Kelvin is collecting pictures of high fever thermometers so that he can use them at will.
You never know when you'll need it.
Like, have you ever faked? Well, we know Kelvin did yesterday to get out of something. But like, what have you faked getting out of? And like, what was your excuse? Because like, I'll a lot of times use because people, especially being new here to Charlotte, and we're meeting new people, and like people have been inviting us, Abe and I, to like stuff during the week. And I'm just completely honest. I'm like, girl, I'm sorry. I go to bed early. I gotta wake up at 3:15. Can't do it. But I have blamed some stuff on Abe before. Where I've been
You
like,
should. That's what.
Ooh, girl, especially when he was doing the painting business. And I think there was a couple of times where, because he would have pain in his arms from painting, and I'd be like, Abe's really in pain today, so I think I'm gonna have to ice down his wrists tonight. So.
That doesn't even sound real.
I know. I'd be like,
I mean, but we have had to do that before. So I was
the whole
just
night
like,
you're sitting. He
the whole
can't
night,
do nothing.
no,
He's just sitting there with his arm out, and you're sitting there also doing nothing but rubbing it down with ice.
Yeah, I'm
that's
like, yeah,
that's
girl.
hours.
I gotta rub down with the icy hide and gotta like change out the ice, and it's just, whew, sorry, we can't make it tonight. I do apologize.
Yikes.
Do you use your daughter, Holly?
Yes, all the time. But I also, it's like a real excuse though, all the time. So like sometimes I just can't, like people will ask me to do stuff on a weekend that I have her, and I'm like, I can't do anything this weekend. I have my kid. Like, and it's, unless it's like a really special something or other, I'm not just going to get a babysitter because that's my weekend. Like if I want to do something, I got to put it in the weekend that I don't have her because I have those carved out. It almost feels like, what am I doing getting a sitter for her when I only have her every other weekend anyway? I don't know. It's a lot of mom guilt. But yes, I do use my daughter's other things. Or I'll be honest, I don't use her a lot for fake stuff. It's like whenever I'm using her as an excuse, it's just that's what it is. But it's a really easy, my kid is fill in the blank, to not have to do something.
How often have you all used the, oh my God, I didn't see that text message. Oh my
I was
gosh.
sleeping.
I didn't see it. When you know good and damn well, when that text came in, you saw it and you were like, oop, don't touch that text, girl.
Instagram gives you a preview of the message. Like, I just don't believe people.
Well, see, that's the thing is that, like, I know I've said it a couple of times. I try not to do it because, like, I don't like lying. And so I try not to do that. But there have been a couple of times where I was like, ooh. But then too, for me, I'm like, people know, like, I have my watch, I have my phone. It's like, unless I'm in the shower.
I don't have a watch, so I never think about people with watches getting messages on their body.
That's
good.
Don't.
I can use that.
I never do. Now I know, though, so I'm gonna keep my eyeballs on you. Like, since I don't have that, it never. But what happens to me, and like, I've said before, and people are probably like, you lying ass bitch. But I've said before, oh my God, I forgot to reply. But what sucks is that, yes, I did see your message. And I was like, ooh, it involves me to either think about something or I'm probably going to have to say no. And so let me just shelf that for a couple minutes in my brain while I deal with something. And that shelving it for a couple minutes turns into days sometimes. And then I'll like look and I'm like, oh shit. And that was unintentional. Like, I never mean to not answer something for days. Like, that's just because there's a lot going on. And I have literally just, it flew out of my brain. And I just feel bad.
That's what happens all the time on social media is like, I have to. And that's why a lot of times I don't get to catch up on messages until days go by, because you'll start to like respond to messages. And then it's like, you got to like really sit down and think and write out a nice message. And I'm like, I'm not in the space to do that right now because I'm just in the lobby of the doctor and I thought I had more time. And then they're like, oh, come on back. And you're like, oh, crap. And then you forget. And then they send you another message. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't respond to that. Like,
I know.
really? And I'm like,
I hate
I'm
it.
so sorry. I feel so
I
bad.
hate
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And I hate when I accidentally open a message that's like really long and either heartfelt or asking advice. And why did I even open it? Because I'm not in a position to answer that now.
Yes.
I'm like, oh shit, I really got to put some thought into this. And then it's going to be a long explanation.
Oh my God, that happens all the time. I feel bad because if I'm gonna write something heartfelt, I want it to be as authentic as possible. But then
Yes.
when you read it, they already saw that you read it, and you don't want them to feel like you're ignoring them.
This is such a stupid first world problem, but it is.
But I mean, we all go through it because we all have social media.
Yeah.
I mean, and like, I think one of the things that I was just thinking about is like, I get a lot of people and friends and you and the fam that will send me like funny videos on Instagram or TikTok. And like, I don't know when TikTok allowed you to start sending videos on there, but then when I log into TikTok, like TikTok, I think it's one of the reasons why I don't open it up a lot is because the notifications like never go away. No matter like what you click, how you respond, there's always like, you've got a million messages of people just sending other videos. And I'm like, I can't. I can't. So like literally I've just stopped even just double tapping on the videos. And I'm like, if I have the time, I will. And I feel bad for friends because I have friends that usually a lot of them work desk jobs and they'll just be on their phone and they'll just send you video after video after video after video, reel after reel after reel. And I'm like, girl, if I sat here, I would be just watching the videos you sent for like 20 minutes.
I know. But I'm probably not going to watch your video. There's a couple of people that repeatedly send me videos in my Instagram. I'm not going to watch them. If I don't know you, I'm not going to watch them. And because you know why? I watched one and it was like a dog wearing pants. And I'm like, I'm not watching your shit anymore. You've ruined it. Like, I don't need to see that shit. I don't care about a dog wearing pants.
Even my childhood friends send me stuff, and I don't care about watching them. I just don't. I'm not interested. My humor is so different, and so to make me laugh through a video, sometimes it is, and sometimes I am in the mood to watch. But for the most part, I don't.
It's hard.
care.
Like I'll watch my close friends. Like my close friends will send me videos and they know usually like what I need or will want to see.
Right.
So I will do that, but I will do it on a much delayed scale. And like my best friend Erin, I feel so bad sometimes because she'll send me videos on TikTok. And I opened up my TikTok last night. She had sent me like 7 videos and I was like, oh shit, I missed them. But then I just started going through them and I was like, got it. That one's funny. That one is really informational. Good. Glad I got that info. And it takes like usually a minute and then I'm good. But like if it's, or like if a really good friend of mine sends me a video out, as soon as I can get to it, I'll get to it. But if I don't really know you and we have not had many interactions, I will just double tap the video.
It's like there's just so much content out there now to like look at that it's like, how do you even begin to just sort of like digest all of it? Because there's just so much that we're sharing with each other. And like, oh, there's a TV show. And I have one of my really good friends who he loves TV so much. And he is a huge pop culture person, but he works from home and he doesn't do a lot of stuff outside of the home. And so his first question when you see him is always, so what are you watching? Have you watched this? Have you watched that? Have you watched this? And I'm like, girl, I'm barely keeping up with like the big stuff, like White Lotus. Like I'm barely keeping up with that, or like Handmaid's Tale. I was like 3 weeks after the season finale, and I was just trying to like avoid the spoilers like a minefield because I just can't always keep up with everything, and I'm always like, I feel like I'm failing. Whereas back in the day, girl, I was watching everything all the time. I knew exactly when stuff was on. And it's just, there's just so much out there now. Consuming it all
It's
feels
too
like
much.
impossible.
Yes, it does. By the way, I started watching White Lotus this weekend.
Yeah.
But I started with season 1 because I wanted to get a grasp, whatever. So I really we got right into it right away. And I know I went back and forth a little bit on Twitter with someone that was like, ugh, it was so boring by episode 3. I had to stop. And I was like, But I think maybe people got into it thinking it was going to be either immediate action or hilarity. And if you're going in with those expectations, that's not what that is.
No, not
I
at
said
all.
the reason I got invested right away is because I'm already invested in these people's psychological traumas. Like, you put me down with some popcorn in front of some people's traumas, and I will sit there and psychoanalyze them. Like, it is my job, and I'm getting paid to do it.
Mhm.
Right.
So I'm already, I think we're 4 episodes in now, and I'm like, well, obviously this person is having this, and it's just, I really like it.
It's nice, right? It's just like people watching. It's not
It
an
is.
intense plot.
And my boyfriend was like, God, whoever does the writing for this show. Now, keep in mind, y'all are on season 2. I'm still on season 1. We were watching a scene with that, with Connie Britton's family at like a dinner scene. And he's
Mhm.
like, whoever writes this series is really good writer. He's like, because I just feel like that's exactly what a very privileged, wealthy white family
Yeah.
would sound like when they don't think anyone else is listening.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
And he's like, it's just so well crafted because it makes you feel like you're really there. I'm like, yeah, that whole thing, we're a fan.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to
Taste.
put the pieces together from last season because we consume so much content that
That's the
when it's
thing.
been
You
a
almost
year, you're
lose
like,
it.
I mean, there are some shows, like I've been trying to get back into this Warrior Nun show that I remember last year. I was
You
like,
talked about it last year.
yeah, I was like, I couldn't stop it. It was so good. But I don't remember a thing of what happened. And so I tried to watch the first episode for season 2. And after 20 minutes, I was like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, I don't know who anyone is. I don't know why they're Warrior Nun. Like, I don't remember. So it's like, I need to find us. They need to do even
Yes.
more sort of in-depth recaps of what happened.
Yes.
Did they do one at all? Because some don't even, they do like a 30-second past season recap. And I'm like,
Right,
no,
no.
I need like a solid 10 minutes. Like,
Yes.
I would even watch a 30-minute recap because
Mhm.
I need a recap. If I'm going to jump back into something that I haven't watched in a year or more, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
No.
Stranger Things does a really good job at that because
Yes.
I do forget what happened and who's
Mhm.
dead and who's not, and so they always do it every single season when it opens up. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
But the same thing happened to me with Empire. The last thing I remember was Alicia Keys and I can't remember the actor's name, but the one who got arrested and did all that crazy
Jesse
stuff.
Smollett.
Yes. And then he was like, his character's gay, but then he low-key was into Alicia Keys. And then from there, I just stopped watching. And then there's been so many episodes since. But I love that show.
Especially network shows like that
Mhm.
where they have 22 episodes per season, unlike a streaming or a cable
Correct.
where it's like 12 or 13.
Yes.
That's why I'm like, I've been sort of going in and out of Walking Dead because I've been
Yes.
trying to like catch up.
Is
But-
it not over yet?
It just ended
Just ended.
2 weeks ago. And
Okay,
then,
I
of
thought
course,
it was over.
I saw a fucking spoiler and I was like, oh, now I really want to see how they get there. But because those seasons are so long, you can definitely tell when it's a filler episode when they're like,
Yes.
well, we got to do 22 episodes.
Oh my
So
God.
here's Carol and Daryl just walking around the woods for 45 minutes with a dog.
Or
And
in
you're
the
like,
Yeah.
past.
Yes. Like, I forgot about network TV. And let me just share this quick story. So we decided, my boyfriend and I were like, this was, I think, in the early summer, and we had some time and there wasn't really anything on. And he's like, do you want to rewatch The Lost? And I was like, yes. I loved Lost. I
Mhm.
mean, I was on from the beginning. I think I missed the first season, but then I was like on board for season 2 live, right? Back in like 05.
Mhm.
And he was too. That's one of the things that when we very first started dating, we kind of bonded over because we both loved Lost and shows like that. Loved it. So we're like, wow, you know what? Yes, let's jump in again because what the fuck was even the ending? We don't remember. Let's do this together. Y'all, we could not even make it through the first season. Like,
No.
it was so boring.
Yeah.
And like, we are 12 episodes in, and I'm like, they're hour long eaches, and I'm like, where are all these characters? What is happening? It's like we are meandering down this stream of like, this is important. I'm like, fuck this. We're not watching it. We are not. So we had to stop because it took too long. I have been conditioned by the streaming services now that really pack really good storytelling and character development and action into each episode instead of these throwaway ones that you're talking about, Miguel.
Well, that's like I wish I wanted to get back into This Is Us. Because
I had to leave that one alone.
I left that
loved
one
that.
too.
I did too.
Loved it.
It was
But
a lot.
Not
like,
any, I think I only watched halfway through maybe did I get to season 3? I don't even know if I got to season 3.
I think I got to season 3, and then I think it's when Abe and I's relationship sort of like took off, and we were actually like doing stuff, and so I
Yeah.
just couldn't spend
And you don't
hours and hours by myself
you don't
crying.
need to spend your time with strangers that don't exist on a TV show.
Oh no.
Same.
I mean, that was my single life. And so all of a sudden I'm like in a relationship where we're like having dinner. And this is like when we sit at the table and like we would talk and, you know, be like, oh, and then like we wouldn't watch anything that night, or maybe we'd watch a movie or something. And then I kind of got out of it. And then like hearing like sort of, because I think it ended last
I
spring.
think it did. Yeah. I think it's over.
Yeah. And I was like, God, I really wish I wanted to know like what happened with the family.
Me too.
Because
Yeah.
I think that like it was the end of the first or second season when they did sort of like a jump forward of like what was gonna happen like way in the future.
Yes.
And I was like, ooh, I want to know how they got there.
Mhm.
But I'm like, girl, them 22 episodes a season, like
No.
Lord, it's too much. It's too big of a commitment.
And it's a lot. Like I forget because I stopped right when he goes back to Afghanistan or Iran. I don't know where his dad served.
oh, Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Oh God,
sorry.
I must have
And
missed
then-
Oh
that.
yes, that's when I stopped. That's right. Yep.
And so he goes with
I
this
didn't even
new
make it to
girl
that.
and he's trying to figure out if he wants to be with her.
Yes.
And
I must, man, that sounds interesting, but like I never made it even to that.
Yeah, I forgot. That's when I dropped off. There was like a couple of weeks that we couldn't. I was with Abe and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
What was the last network show that you watched? Can you remember?
Oh gosh.
So I'm gonna do a quick Google.
I don't even,
I think I know mine.
I don't know.
American Horror Story, probably.
I did used to watch that.
Yeah.
Really, I actually still watch that. I actually just
I
watched.
can't even bring myself to do it.
God, remember we would wait like 1 week for an
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah,
That's wild.
I mean,
I don't know which the last. So American Horror Story. I'm going to write down ones that I do remember.
Apocalypse, I think, was the last. Maybe.
But I mean, I wouldn't even consider American Horror Story because that's on FX,
That's on
Yeah.
FX.
and
So
that's
it
only
just-
like 13 seasons. By the way, the last season was. It was good. It was good. It was a good message. It was American Horror Story NYC. Had to do with like the gay scene and like the
Oh.
late or those 70s and 80s. I think you would actually enjoy it, Kelvin.
Okay.
But I think it hasn't gotten a lot of good reviews. I just think that that's a show that it's past its prime.
It 100% is.
I think the last network show that I watched was Timeless on NBC, and it was like a time travel show. I really, really, really enjoyed that, and it was like great first season, and then NBC said no, but then they brought it back, and it was really good. I enjoyed it, and then they were just like, nope, too expensive. We can't continue on with it. So that was the last one.
Maybe American Idol with Katy Perry.
I did
Mm.
watch this past season of American Idol with Maya.
Mm.
So we watched that.
Mm-hmm.
We watch Food Network.
Mm.
Oh, we do watch Food Network, but I use the Food Network app to watch it on our own time. Like we watched
Doesn't
the
count.
Holiday Baking Championship. I'm a big fan of that. What? It's good.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't even know which ones are network shows.
Right.
So
which
I
is-
would say like anything that was on NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, or the CW. Like
I'm gonna go with it might have been what did we just say? The family one?
This
This
Is
Is
Us.
Us?
It might be This Is Us.
Wow, this is where but this is how life is changing. Most people
Yeah.
can't tell you anything.
It's true.
Like I can tell because Abe watches Grey's Anatomy, which is still on ABC.
I stopped that long ago.
But he
I can't
watches
believe
it
it's still on.
still
going.
on. He watches it on Netflix though. He doesn't watch it in real time.
Yeah.
And the show Lucifer on Fox, but he watches it on Netflix. So we don't even watch the network shows. It's just when it ends up on Netflix.
Yeah. I don't
Mhm.
think there is like, okay, because most of my shows now are like, House of the Dragon or Handmaid's Tale or something else on a streaming network. I don't even know when the
This
last time is.
sort of counts, but not really, because sometimes I would watch the next day for the episode. But Big Brother,
Yeah.
Yes.
I would
Mhm.
click the live TV button on Paramount, so it was live TV, and it was on a cable network. So I think it counts.
It does. I would say that absolutely counts. And that's a big investment because that's 3 episodes a week.
Yes, mom.
Yeah.
Vanessa P said the last time I watched network show was whenever the Vampire Diaries last season was on the CW. Same. I love the Vampire Diaries.
I think it's been 5 years since I've watched anything. Like, aside from that one stint of American Idol this year, I think it was This Is Us. And that might be. We tried to watch. There was supposed to be, again, so we liked Lost, but there was supposed to be a show that came out like maybe 3 or 4 years ago that started in a similar way with a plane and
Manifest?
Manifest. I think it was Manifest.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to watch it and we could not. We couldn't watch it.
I was a little bored. Yeah,
It was boring.
but people love it.
Yeah.
People love it.
I liked it. I liked the first season, but I can't handle shows that has a big mystery that it's just like it goes on for years and years and you still
Yes.
don't know. Like it just annoys. That's why I never watched Lost back in the day because I can't, like, it's too much for me to handle. And I'm like, just fucking tell me. Like, what was it? Where did they go? I want to literally every week. I'm like, what is it? I want to see it.
But with Lost, it was so good because they kept throwing more shit in.
No!
They'd be like, polar bears, time travel, alternate timelines.
It stresses me out too
The
much.
smoke monster. And I was just like, there's numbers. I'm going to
No.
Google them.
See, I like it. Like, remember Buffy back in the
Yeah.
day? They had a great formula. Every season, there was like a new overarching villain. Like
Yeah.
you would they would have someone in the first part of the season, and then it would slowly ramp up to like the big evil for the year. Boom, close the book. We got the answers. We'll figure out what it is next year. But one that goes for 7 seasons, what the fuck?
Miguel was like, I get it.
Oh, sure. Did you like the How to Get Away with Murder
Yes.
sort of
Yes.
format? It was like, okay, somebody died, but who was it? And how did we
Mhm.
get here?
Right.
Yeah.
But
I
then-
watched only 2 seasons of it, though, because then I was like, all right, I'm kind of tiring of this.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really matter. It never mattered in the end. It was just like, oh, now we're moving on.
Right.
And that's how I felt about Desperate Housewives, too. I was locked
Mm.
on Desperate Housewives for the first season. One of my favorite shows. Second season, I was like, where are we going with this? And then I was like, ugh. Like, those shows can't keep it up that way, or they needed to do something to make it better. It's like the writers came with a great concept for one season.
For one
Right.
season, and they're like,
Because
oh,
then
fuck.
maybe it wouldn't have been renewed and then whatever.
Right.
But like, guess what? You fucking got renewed. So you better come with some shit. And they didn't.
That's sort of like a True Blood, how the first few seasons were fantastic. And then once they found that everyone loved it, they were like, well, what else can we throw out? What other
How can we make it bigger and
magical-
crazier?
And then I think was it the last season with Edith, like the original vampire or like the goddess or whatever. It was just like, girl, y'all ain't got nothing else. And
it was
and
like,
to
yeah.
no fault of their own. It's
No, I
just
know.
that this is what happens in Hollywood and entertainment. Once they see that people like it, they will beat it to death, and they'll never just let it live in how it's supposed to be.
Right.
yeah, I know. Yeah, they couldn't. I think the True Blood peaked with season 2, and then 3 and 4 were okay, but then it really just fell all apart. And I'm trying to think, there was another one that I was, unfortunately, I think that's what's happening right now with Handmaid's Tale. Because I feel like I'm seeing it, the wheels kind of come off a little bit. Like,
The last 2 have been meh.
a little rough. Like, I find myself being like, what are we doing and why is it taking this long?
Right.
Do you know where you're going? And if so, why was this taking so long?
They've repeated for these last 2 seasons this relationship with Nick and then the relationship with her husband in Canada. And I'm like, I don't care. Do something now.
Right.
Nick, do something. You have been working for their fucking government of Gilead for 2 seasons, not doing anything.
Doing nothing. Well, Luke over here doing nothing. Like,
Nothing
nobody's
either.
doing anything. And I'm like, I understand that that's how real life would be. But also, this is a show for entertainment purposes.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, and
fucking
that's
do
the thing is
something.
that, like, I understand exploring the cycle, and that's what they're doing, because I always watch the sort of like in when they go inside the episode and talk about like what's happening, and I understand they're exploring trauma and like what it's like for people that have been kidnapped, and I get it, but I'm sorry, I love Elizabeth Moss. She is a brilliant actress, but
Yeah.
I cannot look at her one more time shaking at the camera and looking angry and upset, and she's just like
I know.
for like 35 seconds, and I'm like, I get it, she's upset, I get it, girl, I would too, but like,
But it's almost like they do it a little too much. And it has started to
Yes.
lose its potency because it was the thing. And like, you have a very finite amount of those looks that you can use per season.
right.
And like, what is the context? Like,
Mhm.
not everything needs her to go that way. Like, but also, yes, you're right, because every episode I watch, like, I'm over here armchair psychologying it. I'm like, oh, you see, that's why, because and this and the daughter, like, I would do this. I get it too, but like, we also need some action.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, and like, I think it was and this is spoiler alert if you haven't gotten to the end, maybe it was the episode before the last one where she was injured, in front of her house.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I was like, not yay, it happened, but I'm like, all right, finally, something happened. Like,
Right.
let's move. Or then, like, at the last scene when she was on the train, and I'm like, okay, we've heightened the tension, we've heightened the drama.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where we should have been in the middle of the season.
The
not
middle
at
of the season.
End. I'm like, oh my God. Like, why are we
Yeah.
just now finally moving?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping the next season will be more action packed and just something happening.
That's the last one. Did you
It
guys
is
ever
the last
watch
one.
a show called Revenge on ABC?
Yeah.
Miguel
Ooh,
did. Oh,
girl.
Miguel loved Revenge.
I
Miguel
love
loved it.
that
I
show.
love
That
it.
show
I
is so
didn't watch it.
good.
Yes, I loved Revenge.
Me too.
Emily Vanderkamp, is that what her name was?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
honey.
yes.
Ooh. What was the
a good one.
the older white woman's name?
I don't know, but I fucking lived.
God, I just any show with like some old rich white women like that in the Hamptons that would just throw shade at each other and just give those
Yes.
looks. I was like, yes, girl.
Madeline Stowe.
Yes.
Miss Victoria Grayson.
Victoria Grayson, honey. Yes.
That
That was my
bitch.
bitch. She threw some shade. I live for that show. Was it on Sundays it came on?
Yeah, Sundays ABC, I think.
Yes.
I like the little French villain by the last seasons. I lived for her too. Nobody liked her, but I did.
See, I don't even remember the last couple of seasons. See, once again, that show went past its prime. And it should have stopped probably after like, the third or fourth season.
Yeah.
But it was like, ooh, what other villain? What other
But they're going to
secret?
drag it out to get more money.
Yeah. I was invested
know.
at that point. Like I knew it was shit, but I was like, fuck, I love this.
Stefan said, talking about Handmaid's Tale and Emily Moss, her face gets closer every season and her eye twitch is getting concerning.
It's true.
I don't know
wait,
that she can survive this, y'all.
wait.
That's my prediction. Like, I don't think she can survive this mess.
Wait,
She
hold on.
can't.
To close out this podcast, I want to put everybody, obviously, if you're listening to this, you're going to have to go onto our YouTube or Facebook. I want everyone to give their best.
No.
It's gonna be the podcast photo.
Everybody, give.
I can't get it. I'm laughing.
It's the end of the episode and something dramatic happened. And you know
She
when they,
just found out Serena has got her daughter and she's about to marry her off, right?
and they zoom in on her face and you know the scene and they hold it for like 30 seconds. This is how we're going to end the podcast today. All right, Kelvin, everyone be serious.
Wait, we have to do it at the same
the
time
same
so we can
time.
take a
Same time.
screenshot
Okay. let me
because
take
that's
my
going to be
glasses
the
off.
the promo shots for
Here we go. Your
On Twitter.
best. Okay, hold on. All
I'm trying to get into it.
right.
Got to get close, Miguel.
Can you put some evil music?
Wait, hold on.
Like something dramatic.
Wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry for you listening. This is
Sorry for everything. Like, I don't
All
even
of
know
it.
why people listen. Spout this bullshit every day.
Just talking about shows today.
It's fine. We just did a whole rundown of shows that you may or may not have seen.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna get
What
you
am I going to
Here we
title
go.
this?
Here we go. Hold on.
Rosa Parks.
Well, I didn't even reference that.
No. I hate this.
Here we go. There we go.
Oh no, this sounds sad.
No, this is
Not
definitely
angry.
the song.
I thought we were going for angry.
Hold on. Okay, let me do. Let me see. Give me again another one. Let me see. I'm just.
Do the Halloween EDM remix.
Like dramatic angry.
Okay, hold on.
This is like Little House on the Prairie when we haven't seen Pa in a while. Did Pa get stuck in the snowstorm, Mary?
Okay, hold on. I'm just doing a quick little Google search here.
Mm.
I want to see every booger, Stefan. You might see my nose piercing, my septum piercing.
Oh, you can pull it out. Bam. What are we titling this podcast? Network TV
Elizabeth
versus
Moss.
Elizabeth Moss, angry face.
My neighbor showed me the app.
But you can't say it when you're just listening.
Oh,
Oh, this
Wait.
has promise.
Let's see here.
we really are wasting like 7 minutes.
Oh, here we go. Yes, this is it. This is it.
All right, go.
Here we go.
Okay.
I think we all look like we just had a seizure. We gotta go.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.